TNS is back as a series. It's been a while since we've had one of these videos. Yes, I know that the previous video was a TNS video, but that was more of like an update video based on the Boom Boom Changer, having a test mode and all that. But the video that you're watching now features completely new content, alright? This is from the latest series of Super Sentai, #1 Sentai Gozyuger. So that's what this is, and because it's completely new, that's why it's going to be on the schedule thing. So you know how TNS schedules work, but in case you've forgotten, because it's been a while, TNS videos come out every Monday and every Friday. I don't know which day this video will come out on. It'll come out on one of those two. So it's 2 videos every week. Originally, in case you're wondering, it was 1 video every Monday until I realised that was too long of a wait for each one to come out, because back then I was inundated with Sentai Power Ranger stuff to review, so changed the formula, changed it a bit, and that's the way it stays forever. So this is a bit of a peculiar case, because this is the Gozyuger's henshin item, but also their giant robot, and also their henshin item, primary weapon, sidearm, and main robot. So it's 3 items in one. But before we get onto that, I'm just going to show you the box. So let's take a sword out of the way. Let's move these out of the way and bring in the box. Here it is. We have the Gozyuger logo up there. We have this is the 50th series of Super Sentai, 50th. Apparently the original one, here it's Sentai Goranger, you know, the first one, went on for 2 years. This is Sentai team number 49, but apparently they're counting both years of Goranger, so that means it's now on 50. They like to change their minds about that a lot, apparently, because again they're actually, no, it's got nothing to do with... yeah, I believe Goranger did go on for 2 years, but I think the main cause for this is Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger. They used to be counted as 1 team, now they're suddenly 2 teams, Lupin Rangers and the Pat Rangers. Alright, they counted as 1 team for Zenkaiger, which was the 45th anniversary, but now they're counting as 2 teams for the 50th. It's confusing. Anyway, here's Goju Wolf, I think his name, the Red Ranger for this series. Tega Sword Robo in the background, Tega Sword itself. We have one of the included, because the gimmick this year, they've got things called Sentai rings, but we'll get onto that. Top of the box has, let's just pop this down here. Top of the box has, actually, don't know what I'm doing actually. I should be being a bit more careful with how I show this. Top of the box has it in both modes. Side of the box has Robo mode and the Robo ring at the bottom. We'll get to that. It's not called Robo rings, they're called something else, but we'll get to that. And we have Goju Wolf on here's a specific Sentai ring. Bottom has all the usual gumph. Is Side Pac-Man here? Yeah. Side Pac-Man is there. Side Pac-Man, he's right there. Or she, I don't know. Right, here we are. This tells you that you can use the Goju Wolf ring to transform into Goju Wolf, or at least create the sound that is required to turn into Goju Wolf. There is some functionality with motion, but we'll get to that. And there's also a sound for the Robo ring, but again we'll get to that. You can also use additional Sentai rings for Legend Sentai teams. The first set that they made because they're still making rings for like 2 ring packs. This one was the first one that contained the ring for Boom Boom Ja and King Oja. I think the day I'm filming this video on is the 31st of May, and the evil changer, the evil version of this has just come out. Tega June, which belongs to a Ring Hunter Garudo, I think. spoilers, I guess, but I think all the spoilers, technically spoilers for the new item, but it's plastered all over YouTube on Sentai, so there's nothing I can do to censor those in terms of spoilers. On the bottom we have, look, here is the Robo Ring, and it tells you how the Robo transforms. And there's no instructions in this box, which is surprising, even though this up here suggests that there's some instructions online, but I couldn't find any. I might have to follow this URL myself, manually, in order to see if this is telling the truth, but I don't know. And we also have these additional 2 combinations of the Leon Buster 50 and the Tornado Hammer 50. Both of them I have both those items. The Leon Buster 50 is coming next on this series, but for now, oh, this light's done. This light is done. Never mind. Charge it up later. So yeah, that is it for the box. And now we are going to bring in the items that came in the box, because it's an unboxing, or technically not an unboxing, just showing you what you get in the box and demonstrating it all. So I'm just going to show the core gimmick of Gozyuger first, because last year we had the Boom Boom cars, but this year we've got things called Sentai rings, like I said before. This is Gozyuger Wolf Sentai ring, so all 5 Gozyugers have their own henshin ring. Of course, the Tega comes with the red one. I suppose you could also get the one for Goju Leon, Goju Tyranno, and another set, and then the other set, and then another set has a Goju Eagle and Goju Unicorn. But I don't have those because, well, I'll get to that, because I don't really understand, because, you know, shipping fees and all that. If I lived in Japan, I'd think, why not? It would just be a case of going into a shop and just picking it up. But I think it's made twice as the price is doubled because of customs, and I really don't want to have to bother with that, because I think having extra sets of Sentai rings in my personal collection, just a little bonus add-on. So it's not something that I would like. It's not something that I would need. It's just something that I would not mind just having, if you know what I mean. So this is Goju Wolf Sentai ring. There's some nice. Is that gold? I think that might be gold. It looks gold to me. Gold. Yeah, because the visor on his suit is gold. Yeah, so his helmet's gold. So gold paint. A lot of gold paint actually. This has got translucent red. Although you can't really tell it's translucent because the light's not there, but yeah. So interesting. We have this little hole on the bottom, which is for because there's a light in the Tega sword that shines, through this hole here, and it's supposed to light up the entire ring, but does that only in the dark. I suppose in the light it only lights up about the bottom part, but that's not an issue. We have the back here, which now this bit's important because the rings work off a pin system. If you go back in the TNS series and look at the Phaser Blaster, the Qtama had a very similar pin system in which there was like 6 pins total, and you could stick toothpicks in them and it would come up with different noises. So yes, predictably, I have been able to do that with the Tega sword, since there's a pin system going on. So this one's got 2 pins on the top, 1 pin at the bottom. And we also have, but we'll get onto that later, we have the ring part, of course. This is a small ring, obviously for the kids, that this is like a kiddie thing, isn't it, for like kids in Japan. This ring only fits on my little finger, as you can see, because of the smallness of it. But there's a solution, as these probably would have given away right now. You can actually slide off the ring part here, so it looks like this on the back. And they also gave you, for each ring, they gave you these bigger parts as well. So here's a little size comparison between the little parts and the big parts. So it does look a lot bigger in comparison, and it is a lot bigger. So it just slides on, and they have a much bigger ring. And this one does fit my what do you call this, pointing finger, I think. It does fit this, but for every other ring, it just every other finger, it's just too loose. It does fit on my pointing finger just fine now, I think. But it does feel a bit loose, but it fits. It's more secure. It fits more. That's got a more snug fit than the other rings. So I'm glad they managed to do that. They don't really do that a lot, I don't think, in the past. So this could be a nice change for Sentai collectibles. They could be accounting for like wearable accessories for stuff like that in the future. Because I think I made a point before saying that the Boom Boom Changer didn't have any like strap extensions. Because you know how like common belts have got like strap extensions. I'm just a bit surprised that that hasn't happened for the Boom Boom Changer yet. But who knows? That might happen in the future. So I'm going to put these little ring parts back on. I'll get to why that's important in just a minute when we get to the Tega sword itself. But we have the other ring. This is I don't really know what they call these in the show. I think I know. I think these are the Robo rings, the Tega sword Robo rings. But so this one is for a Tega sword red. But it's a bit confusing, you see, because again, spoilers. Tega sword red. This ring really should be included with a toy called a Wolf Decaliber 50, which, yes, is out now, and yes, I have ordered it from eBay, but it's coming in June, unless it comes sooner than that, but I don't know. The Tega sword was from eBay, and that was supposed to arrive in June, but it arrived in May, a few days ago, in fact, so I don't know. So yeah, this ring should be included with the Tega sword. No, it was included with the Tega sword, but really should have been included with a toy called the Wolf Decaliber 50, because this is the ring for Tega sword red, which is the combination between Tega sword and Wolf Decaliber 50. So, but for some reason they stuck it in with the Tega sword, but I think mostly because there's no ring for the Tega sword Robo in its base form, and when nothing else has been combined to it. So this is the base form ring, but it's also the ring for the Tega sword red. So they didn't include like a base Tega sword ring, you know, when there's nothing else on it, and I don't know, I'm confused. Pins on the back, nice. Ring part can obviously be removed. This is all done in clear red plastic with some gold on it. Do like that. I have all the Tega sword Robo rings for blue, yellow, green, and black, because they all came with their respective weapons, which again I will get to in the next couple of videos. And they all are done with clear plastic, and I do like that. Again, there's a hole for the little LED. I do like how it's all different clear plastic colours. I do like clear plastic. I think I made this point with the Kira Major machine. Actually, I've got one right here on my desk. Like machine lift on. I think I did say that I do like the clear plastic because it allows for if you've got lights on, like if you've got like a shelf with like lights on, it does allow the plastic to kind of sparkle a bit. I do like that, like a jewel like. So I do like these for the clear plastic. It looks jewel like, and I like that. So yeah. So this ring, it's a bit confusing, you see, because again, no ring for Tega sword base, but this is the ring for Tega sword red. I don't understand it. We'll get to that again, because for some reason they call the base Tega sword Robo Tega sword red, even though it shouldn't be Tega sword red. It should be Tega sword Robo. They should be calling it something like Tega sword Robo. It's not. Okay, we'll get to that. But of course you have this little moving part here, and there's the little face for the Robo. Again, blue eyes, metallic blue eyes, gold, nice gold. They are doing a lot with the gold. So you do get two big ring parts for use with the rings, and now we have the Tega sword itself. So this is new. This is the first hand changer with a sword on the end. So this is a sword changer, but it's also like a gauntlet. So this is the first gauntlet changer, I think, in Sentai, unless I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. Also, this is the first core changer for the whole. This is the first core changer that turns into a robot. Because I think before it's been primarily power-up weapons that turn into robots. Because I think we've had Zuban from Borkenja, and more recently we've had the Lupin Magnum from 2018. So they're experimenting with new ideas, and I like that a lot. We have this gold here is not metallic, this silver is not metallic. Not chrome, sorry, it's metallic, but not quite shiny. Metallic gold, metallic silver. There's a lot of metallic gold and silver, or not so much silver, but there's still a lot of gold. Metallic blue on the little fingers there. I do like how much metallic paint they're using here. Is this paint? I'm not sure. It could be. I'm not sure. Plastic. It's hard to tell. There's some metallic gold and some clear blue on some piece here. We have the entire blade is made of translucent blue. It's like flexible plastic. This is the sword. Looks like an energy blade. I'd like that actually. We have the space where you put the Sentai rings, which you may not be able to see the clear. Actually, no, it stays the same. Basically, there's this middle part here in which you put the ring in. And yeah, the reason why I'm only using the small rings is because only the small rings will fit, as I will now demonstrate. So let's just take this off here. So you've got the little ring part here, put it in there, and it clicks in. And you can see here that the rest of the ring will have the pins hit on the top and the bottom. So like that. So that is where you will put your Sentai rings. Now, obviously the big bands here, they will not fit into the hole. And even if they did fit, let's just do some more demonstrating here. Even if they did fit, which they will if you force it a little, but the pins on the ring will not be close enough to the pins inside here to actually touch and do anything. So there won't be any sounds that come out of this if you use the big ring. So that's why they're using the little rings. So that's what that's about. There's 3 pins on the top, 3 pins on the bottom, and it's exactly like the Phaser Blaster in terms of pin arrangement. So except it's like this and not like this. Also, they're more closely packed together and they're not as far apart as the Phaser Blaster, but point is it's the same system. So what have we got on the back? We have this is the blade part again. On-off switch is here, speaker is here, battery compartment is here, which is held down by a single small button, so you can just open it with like a toothpick. Don't need to get out the screwdrivers for that one. And here is the handle, because this is like a gauntlet weapon. There's a button on the handle here, which you can push, but this handle is very, very small, at least for my hands anyway. So I think it was Emgo that said that, oh look, they're giving us the bigger rings, but they're still making this handle really small. Obviously, in kind of hindsight, they can't make a bigger handle because, like, it would be oversized. Obviously, I think the main point, the main issue here would be that it would interrupt with this entire, well, most of this design actually. It would get in the way of this sum piece here, so they can't really do that. Something tells me that they wanted to, but they couldn't. So yeah. And there's one more thing I'm going to demonstrate before I actually turn the sounds on and demonstrate all the fancy pants electronics and that is the transformation to robo mode. Now, why am I doing this? It's because there's a standby noise with the electronics on. So that's going to talk all over this. I'm gonna have to shout over it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna show you the transformation without any of the sounds, and then we can get to the sounds when we've done that and done it all again. So the first thing you need to do is you have these fingers here. So this entire part here just drops down like that, revealing the rest of this. And then there's some translucent clear plastic on the other side of the legs. And you spin the legs around like this. And then the feet come up like that. So now it'll stand by itself. And then I'm just going to do the arms first. You've got this sum piece. Now this sum actually gave me some trouble when I got it out because I couldn't figure out how to transform it properly. But after a couple of minutes watching the Engo video, I decided to, oh wait, I figured out, oh, that's how it works. So essentially you've got to take this front piece here and turn it up like that. And then you can bring this entire arm down like this. And then this arm just spins around like that. So now you have this arm. Now, there is a little blade here that just spins out like this. This is the sword for the robot. It's quite a small sword, but I don't mind. Now you've got this other finger here, the little finger. You've got this, I have to move this bottom part up to the right. And this entire arm just drops down like that. So now you've nearly completed the robot. So then you have to take the blade of the Tega sword here. And it actually comes in half, so you have to split it in half. And each side will just drop down behind the robot. And of course, finally you have the, hang on, I can move this up a bit more. There we are, we have the middle finger here, which drops down behind the actual head there. I really should be getting like an elevated platform for this. Can we use the box that the Tega sword came in? Yes, we can. Ooh, that's convenient. Elevated camera by a Sentai toy box. So now, all you've got to do is take the, well, it accepts any ring really, but if you want to get the sound for a specific combination, or this, if you want to get the sound for this robot, you have to use this ring, which is the ring it comes with. So you have to fold it up here and insert it into the hole. So you have to use this ring if you want to complete the transformation for this robot. Although yes, it will accept any ring. So you can use Gozyuger Wolf's ring here, which, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the Ninja Shuriken system from a Shuriken Sentai Ninja, in which the Shuriken Jin head could be replaced with any of the Ninja Shuriken that have like one of those face panels on, so you can replace it for the Aka Ninja Shuriken, Ao Ninja Shuriken, Ki Ninja, for anyone that has like compatible face plates. You can do it for any of them. So customize your robot here, so you can do this for any one of them. I doubt this form is going to appear in the show with this head, because it's just a neat thing you can do with the toy. It's just a thing that exists. And yes, of course, you can have it without any rings, without any thing on the head, but this just looks wrong. It just looks like something should be there and nothing's there, so that's why they tell you to use a ring, because it looks wrong. Yes. So now we're going to quickly transform this back into, oh, also just going to point out, nothing gets done with the handle on the back, so it's just there sticking out looking awkward. But yeah, don't mind, if you're displaying it like this you can't really see it, so that's fine. So now we're going to transform it back into changer mode, and this is the bit I really don't like, because it feels like spinning this blade around is just gonna make the whole arm just pop out. So we're just gonna do this as quickly as we can. Feet, spin this round, fold these up. Why is that not going in? Oh, there we are. So now we have done this, and it's back into the changer mode. So now we're going to move the box, move it down here, and we're going to get to the sounds this thing makes. So first of all, we've got to turn it on, and there is an activation noise, I believe, with some lights. I fluffed that a bit. It's not supposed to say that. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly get to that. How the changer can tell when you're switching between change mode and robo mode is by this little button here. It's like a little translucent colour button that gets pushed in. It gets pushed in for change mode, and it gets let go for robo mode. And there's this little piece on, I think it might be, I see, I think it might be this little block of clear plastic that hits the button. So it wasn't pushed down far enough. So, okay, so we've made the mistake. Can we, is it all locked in place? I think so. Can we try that again? Here we go. So that's in Japanese. I can't tell you what the Japanese is specifically, but I can tell you the translation. Apparently, it's saying, now, make your wish. Because apparently this is supposed to be like that's got something to do with the storyline of Gozyuger, in which the person that collects the most Sentai rings will have a wish granted or something. I don't know. So apparently that's the storyline and why it says that. And basically by itself, oh yeah, there's some motion. So if you move it about, it'll make these noises. And I think it's quite sensitive. I'm just tapping it. So it is quite sensitive. So those are the slashing noises. If you push the button on the trigger, on the handle, you'll get some lights and some phrases. Now make your wish. No.1. I am No.1, I think that is. I don't know. Use the ring, that's our contract. I think I got these translations from the MGO video as well, so credit goes to him, because I didn't use any translating. No, I didn't do any translating at all, so all credit goes to MGO for these translations. It just loops back to... So that's all you get by itself. However, we are now going to bring in a Sentai ring. There is going to be this. So we set the ring in. Oh. Hang on. So... yeah, you're probably really confused. I think I was at first, but basically when you set this ring in, you'll get a standby noise. It'll say clap your hands, in which you're supposed to do this, because, you know, clap. But there's no like sensor in this part. It's literally just the moving this. So, and you can skip straight to the, if you push the trigger, you can skip straight to the henshin noise, but it will do it by itself as well. So I'm just gonna let skip. I'm just gonna let it. I'm gonna show both ways off. Okay. So you can see the little LED shining through this bottom part of the ring. So that's what happens when you push the button. It will jump straight to the, there is no waiting involved. However, if you do not touch anything and you let the standby play out all the way, you can, I'll basically hear all the standby and it'll just jump to the henshin by itself. So let's do that now. So that's what that is about. So now you have transformed into Goju Wolf. There's no change when you use the slashing sounds, I think. Yeah, exactly. There is now another slashing noise when you push a button. And if you hold the button down, At first, I thought the finish finger noise would imply, button activated finisher. Like, when you push a button to get it to do the final attack, like of, everything else Sentai's made. But no, it just does it by itself. So no standby noise or anything. So that's Gozyuger Wolf's Henshin and finisher. Has the Tega sword by itself got a finisher? No, because it's saying all that stuff. And also I'd like to point out that the ring part by itself will not do anything. And yes, I'd also like to point out you can push in the ring top without any ring parts on, but it won't lock. But it'll still it'll still do it. So the ring part is really just there to lock it into place. So that is what that is about. And now, this is where things get a bit confusing, because even though I just said this is the ring for Tega Sword Red, it has some noises in change mode anyway, so let's do that. I have no clue if that standby will pass by itself. I also don't know if there's like a specific noise you're supposed to do with it, but I don't know. So it just said Wolf Decaliber Go, which is implying that the mecha rings, the robo rings, also have a connection to each ranger's personal weapon. So as well as this being the ring for Tega Sword Red, it's also the ring used to summon Wolf Decaliber 50. Which was a bit of a spoiler when this item came out, because I think the Wolf Decaliber 50 was like I think it was like, it wasn't released at the start. It was released more like a few months. I think it was released in April as opposed to February when everything else came out. So a bit of a spoiler there, but same slashing noise. There's a different finishing noise. Wolf Sword Finish. So that's what that's about. And now we're going to get to the Robo Transformation, which I'm not going to be doing any talking because there's going to be like a standby noise. And when I've done it, I'm going to explain how these rings work. Also, I'd like to point out that if you insert a ring now and transform it, you won't have to take it out and reinsert it again. It'll just do it automatically. But we're going to do this anyway, so oh, didn't expect that. It just kind of stopped. Can we... Oh, so close. Can we do that again? Hang on, just push this button. Tega Sword Red. So, even though there's no Wolf Decaliber involved here, this is still Tega Sword Red somehow. So now this is Tega Sword Red, which is the base Tega Sword Robo, I think. So, oh, I forgot to bring out a sword, doesn't matter. So, yeah, there's a few specific changes when you use a robo ring. There's a walking sound that's different. The motion controls do something different. motion controls. The button on the handle will now do this when you push it in. Oh, still the same flashing noise, but if you hold it down. I was really expecting a different finishing noise, but apparently not. So yeah. Of course, if you do this, it'll. Hang on. And no, that is not a noise for when you remove the arm. It's just motion controls again. So if you put a ring on, if you preemptively put a ring on it, it'll jump straight to the noise. So now we're going to show what happens if you use the Gozyuger Wolf ring. So the ring functionality doesn't change except for the robo rings. So that means you can do all the change stuff in Megazord mode, in robo mode. So yeah, that's not confusing at all. I was expecting it to have different noises, but I suppose it's got its limits, I suppose. We can probably get a better look at the pin system there. There's 3 pins on top, 2 pins on bottom. So yeah, you probably guessed that if you know me quite well, I like to try and get all the sounds out of these kinds of toys. So in the next couple of videos, probably after, it's probably going to be after Unicorn Drill, but that depends on whenever. No, after Unicorn Drill, because I don't know. Depends on how frequently I film these videos. But yeah, I'm eventually going to do a video in which I get all the sounds out of these by putting blue tack over these pins, which I've tried before and it's worked. So a load of sounds to be found basically on this channel. So yeah, look forward to that. So now I'm going to introduce the next video on the TNS series. When this whole of a video uploads, because it's already 37 minutes. I'm going to review the Leon Buster 50 next. This is Gozyuger Leon's personal weapon and will be coming in the next video, but take a sword, Robo. Nice. Can we turn it off before we finish the video? Yes, we can. So yeah, good start for the Gozyuger toy line. Gozyuger toy line. I keep saying Gozyuger. It's like a. I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's like a muscle memory thing, if you can even call it that. But yeah, very good start for the current Sentai. Spoilers again, but I think they're supposed to be releasing stuff for the 6th Ranger later on in June. Gozyuger Polar, I think his name is. He's got a changer. He's got a weapon. I'll be picking those up as well when they come out. Hopefully, being able to pre-order them. That'd be a help. So yeah, again, next video, Leon Buster 50. Big gold boy will stay up here because again, this has a combination. So yeah, until then, wear your Japanese rings and hope they fit on the ring's fingers. And oh, actually, on that note, just to point out, the finger where you're supposed to put rings, even with like the biggest band, it fits, but it's really loose. Oh dear. And in case you're wondering about the little one, it won't get past the knuckle bone. Won't fit. Just goes up that far. I suppose it still kind of works if you want to put it like that, but it's a ring. At least make it fit right. So yeah, Tega sword, Tega Junior. It's supposed to be Tega Junior, but it's also Tega June. I think the reference to I had to look on Ranger Wiki, it's apparently reference to June Bride or something. If that's the case, why didn't they release Tega June in, June? Instead it gets released on the last day of May, which is a missed opportunity.